Hello, I'm Russ Mould, AJ Bell's Investment Director, and I'm here with our Head of Platform Marketing, Mike Morrison, to discuss the new pension freedoms you will be able to enjoy from the 6th of April 2015. Now in this section, we're going to look to the changes at the so-called death taxes. Now I'm sorry this means we're tackling a gloomy subject, but it is an important one all the same. So Mike, the changes are actually really quite radical, so can you talk us through the major points and who can now receive your pension benefits after your death?
I think the issue originally with people who took income drawdown from their pension plan was that the fund that they'd open up to take an income from on death potentially was taxed at 55%, and that was seen as a bit of an issue, I think, and lots of toing and froing. Chancellor has announced that from April this year that tax rate will be zero, and that he's now got a new regime potentially which will allow you to pass on your pension benefits to your beneficiaries, your dependents, or the people you nominate to receive such benefits. Up to 75, those benefits could be tax-free.
That's the person who's dying, not the person who's receiving.
The person who's dying, exactly. Those benefits will be tax-free. After 75, if the individual dies after 75, then potentially subject to a marginal rate of tax.
Of the person who's the recipient.
Of the person who's the recipient.
And you mentioned the magic word nomination there. So how do the rules stand at the moment, and how will they look going forward in terms of who can receive those monies?
I think going forward, at the moment, people generally tend to nominate a dependent.
Spouse.
Yeah. Going forward, you'll still nominate a dependent or a beneficiary. It will become more important, I think, to make sure you get the tax structure right. Make sure you nominate the right person. There are various trigger points, I think, with this tax change at 75, you want to make sure that the money, if being disposed of after 75, is going to the most tax-efficient beneficiary.
As well as the people who need it the most.
People who need it the most. And there's a combination of issues, I think. Always back to the trustees of the pension scheme to act in their discretion to pass out the money to the right people.
And how can a beneficiary, do they choose to accept the mechanism by which the money is paid, whether it's a lump sum or a regular income, or is that down to the person whose nomination it is? How does that work?
I think normally the individual who nominates, if they nominate a particular individual, that then gives the trustees the option of offering either the lump sum or the income route. I mean,
and I guess one of the complicating factors is here, given this 75 trigger point of no tax taxed, depending on the age of the person who dies, does it almost mean that pensions become part of people's inheritance tax planning or estate planning? And is that a right way to be looking at it?
Well, that's two questions, Russ. I think one, having made pensions simpler, we're now making much more of the focus onto the inheritance tax issue. But there is a general acceptance in the market now that perhaps you should be spending your other investments first, your ISAs,
so
your
drain
house,
your other investments, leave the pension to last.
Leave the pension to last.
Given it's almost sort of tax, treated in a sort of beneficial manner.
Exactly. And I think that achieves two things. One is it leaves the money encourages people to leave the money in the pension scheme, so they shouldn't run out of money for income purposes. But any money that is left is beneficially passed on to family, children, grandchildren, etc., without any inheritance tax. So the two, you can see some logic between the two.
But again, the critical point to get across here is this 75.
75 is important. 75 is very important to make sure that people understand where the money could go. And I'm very much for, sort of sitting down at a potato time and working through on a piece of paper, perhaps, where you see your money going on your death. What family you have, what beneficiaries, what could be the trigger points,
what tax rates
they currently pay, getting a series of trigger points and really filling in your nomination notice in accordance with some of those key factors.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks, Russ.
Now, we appreciate this is all quite technical and can be a lot to take in. You can therefore find more information on our website, the address of which is shown here. You can also use the government service PensionWise. You can ask them for a face-to-face meeting, help over the phone, or log on to the website, and again, the address is clearly displayed right here. So thank you very much for your time for watching this video, and please look out for the others that are dotted around our website on the new pension freedoms.